Hi guys, it's JB here, and it's that time of year again. Premier League's almost starting, and we at the JB Court YouTube channel are getting prepped up for all the commentaries in the next 9 months, and all the big Premier League matches that matter. And we've got four crackers lined up for you this weekend. But it's not about the commentaries that we've got lined up for you tonight. Today it's all about the predictions for this season in the Premier League, and where do I think personally where each team is going to finish. Now we're going to do it from 20th up to the top. So we're going to start with the three relegation candidates, and we're going to start off with 20th place, which I've decided to go for is Cardiff City. I think they've a decent squad that's just come up from the Championship. It's going to be hard. They've got Neil Warnock. He's not my cup of tea, Warnock, and he's not my favourite manager in the world, and he was very lucky, I think, to get Cardiff up because I thought Fulham were going to pick them to the post, and I don't think Cardiff would have got up into the Premiership either. But having said that, they'll give it a go. I think certainly for Cardiff, they need to win their games at home. If they don't, then I feel that they could have a big long hard season. I think the Cardiff fans will not like what I'm saying, but I'm actually gonna say 20th. They've strengthened, but Bobby Reid is he Premiership class? He's not played Premier League before. That's the problem. But it's down to Warnock now. He's brought the players in now, and with the window closed, it's I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I think Cardiff might struggle. So I'm going to go for 20th place, Cardiff City. In 19th place, I've gone down for Watford. Now Watford, they started well last year, then they went off the rails when they sacked Marco Silva when his head was turned with Everton. I don't know how they're going to go this year. I don't think they've signed too many players that have got quality. They've lost a decent player in Richarlison. I know they've recouped nearly 30-40 million for him, which is quite a lot of money, but they haven't really invested enough for me. The squad, it's a hard-working team, but with the owners changing their manager every 5 minutes, it's very inconsistent, and that's my worry for Watford. I hope they stay up. They're a good little club. They've done really well, and they've stayed up now. They're in their 4th season as a Premier League outfit, and good luck to them. They're a good side, but I've got a feeling that their luck might run out this year. So I've got Watford to finish in 19th place. The final relegation spot, for obvious reasons, is Brighton and Hove Albion. They impressed me last year, but obviously for reasons, obvious reasons, I'm going to have them down as relegation candidates. Second season syndrome more than anything else. They had a good season last year. They had some notable wins over Manchester United and Arsenal at the Amex, and I think they're going to have to rely on their home form more than their away form again this time round if they're going to have any chance of staying up. I think teams will find them out this year. I really do, and it all depends whether Glenn Murray can score the amount of goals he got last season. I think he got something like 12, 13 goals. Pascal Gross chipped in with 4 or 5. They haven't made too many. They've spent a bit, they spent about 33 million quid, and they've done well and added well. But as I say, it depends on, they're unknown. Some of them are unknown quantities, but I think they'll just come up short. So I'm going to back Brighton to finish 18th. Now the teams that I think will just avoid relegation, 17th to 14th, I've gone for Huddersfield Town to stay up. I just think there's something about David Wagner that persuades me that Huddersfield are going to do it a second year in a row and stay up, because they had a great start. They had some memorable wins, beat Manchester United, I think, and one or two other big teams at the John Smiths, and they used that as a fortress for most of last season. They had a bit of a dicey run towards the back end of the season, but they got enough points on the board to stay up. I think it's going to be the same again this year. They made some decent signings. They have lost Tom Ince, though. That could be a blow for them. But I think David Wagner, the one thing I think he's good at is man management, and I think he's got it in abundance. There's a team spirit there. which is since he's been at the club. I think it's his third full season with them. He's had a team spirit and they've been a very successful team. If they finish 17th, it will be classed as a very successful season for Huddersfield. I think they can do it. So they'll just pick Brighton and stay up at Brighton's expense. In 16th, I've got Southampton, who, like Huddersfield, nearly got relegated last season. Mark Hughes came in, having left Stoke in a very bad position. He came in towards the back end of the season, did enough to get them up, and they should have won at Everton, and a game I covered on the YouTube channel, but they got the result they needed against Swansea, which set them down. But they were very lucky. I think they'll have another season of struggle. I know they've brought in one or two good players. They've spent a few quid, Mark Hughes as well. They've got Danny Ings on loan, which is a disappointment to us, for Burnley, obviously. But even so, I think Southampton are still going to find it a bit tricky this year. It's again how the players will gel. They've lost a really good talisman in Dusan Tadic, so that could be a key factor. But I think Southampton will just about stay up again. Depends whether Mark Hughes will, it depends on what start they make. If they get enough points, then I think they should be okay. So I've got them down to finish 16th, but I wouldn't be too surprised if they went a little bit higher. But 16th, I think, is realistic for them at the moment. In 15th place, I've got Newcastle United. I worry about Newcastle United. They haven't, they've been mourning up on Tyneside, quite rightly so, that Mike Ashley hasn't backed Rafa Benitez. I can understand the fans' frustration on that. The Newcastle fans, they are some of the most passionate fans in the country. They've bought it. I mean, what he's been given, I think he's done well. He's worked at Oracle. He's bought Dubravka, the goalkeeper, in. He's got Kennedy on loan again. They've got Key on a free transfer. And one or two other decent players as well, which will add. They've lost Dwight Gale, however. They've bought Solomon Rondon as part of the swap deal. I think losing Dwight Gale could be a bit of a blow, but Rondon has still got Premier League experience. I still expect Newcastle to finish high enough to stay out of trouble. So I think they'll just about scrape it in 15th place, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I think I think it's it's going to be a difficult season for them. Rafa's not being backed, and as soon as Mike Ashley, if Amanda Staveley is still interested in buying the club and she can buy out Ashley, I think, and Newcastle stay up, I think Newcastle could have a bright future without Ashley being there. But I understand where the fans are coming from. But with Ashley in charge, you've got to have them down as bottom 6 material, I'm afraid. But I think they'll do enough to stay up. In 14th place, I've gone with Bournemouth. I think they've only bought 2 players in, one for about £25 million, which is a lot of money for Bournemouth to spend. I know they've got, they're backing the manager, they're backing Eddie Howe. He's got a good squad there. I think they'll struggle a little bit this season. Consistency again. They'll have to rely on the Vitality Stadium to get victories there. I think they'll be okay. I don't think they'll get relegated. I think they're good enough to stay up again and stay up for another season there. They've done really well. I didn't think they'd lost maybe 3 years, let alone 4. This is their 4th full season in the Premier League club as a top flight club even. And I think they've done really well to be up there for 4 years. They've had a couple of top 10 finishes, which is a testament to how Eddie Howe's done. He's a very good young manager. He's done magnificently well there, and fully deserves the accolades and an opportunity at a bigger club should that arise. And I don't want to sound flippant to the Bournemouth fans, but I think he's earned that right. But I think Bournemouth will be okay. 14th, I think, would be another decent season, although they'll drop, although it'll be not an improvement on the season before that. And I think they will struggle a little bit, but 14th I'm going to go for there. In 13th, Leicester City. I think this could be a really tough season for Leicester. They've lost Riyad Mahrez to Manchester City. They've got 60 million for him. But I think they've kept Harry Maguire, which is quite good. I think. I will double check that, but I'm certain that Harry Maguire is staying at the club. Just bear with me a second. I'm just checking it out on BBC's website. But if they keep Harry Maguire, I think they're going to stay up very comfortably. But they will miss Riyad Mahrez. Jamie Vardy's got a lot of Jamie Vardy's scored a lot of goals already, but I'm a little bit worried now that he's lost. I mean, they've lost Mahrez. I don't know where the goals are going to come from for Vardy. Will he get the support from the players? They've signed one or two good players. Maddison from Norwich, I think, is a good signing, good astute signing. I think now they've kept Oldham going. I think that's a big one for Claude Puel. He's a very safe manager. He's not spectacular at management, but he's a safe manager. I think Leicester will be okay. I don't think they'll get relegated, but 13th would be a good season, a decent enough season for them. In 12th place, I've gone for Crystal Palace. I think they've got a really good squad down there now. Roy Hodgson, all credit to him. I mean, when he took over after 4 games and Ronald de Boer, they were giving, everybody and his dog, including myself, didn't give him a cat in house chance of staying up. But they've stayed up, and they stayed up very comfortably in the end. And they've got, if they can keep Will Sahar fit, I think they'll have a decent season. They won't push for Europe or anything like that, but I think there'll be more than enough points. They'll get more than enough points in the bag to stay off relegation. I can see that happening. I think 12th place would be a great result for them this season. They've brought in some decent players, but to keep hold of Will Sahar and the likes of Andros Townsend, I think that's a very, very good. I think that's very, very good. They've got, as I said, they've got Roy Hodgson. I think he's a very, very experienced, astute management, Crystal Palace man. So he knows. He brought up in Croydon, so he knows the Palace way. I think they've got a very good squad there. So I'm going to back them for 12th. In 11th place, I've gone for Fulham. I think that's it's a bold statement. They are a newly promoted team, but they have strengthened quite significantly. I think Alfie Mawson is a good signing for them. Burnley was also signing Alfie Mawson, and then he wanted to go to London, which is understandable, but I felt Burnley could have done more to sign him. But having said that, I think it's a great signing for Fulham, good defensive signing. They've signed Mitrovic from Newcastle. Seems to have found his real niche in England with Fulham rather than with Newcastle, where he lost his way there. They've got a very good manager there. I think they could surprise a few people this season. I think they'll surprise me. I think they've got a good nucleus of a side. They went on a 23 match unbeaten run. Very, very unlucky not to go up automatically, but they won the playoffs. They didn't play well on the day. I thought they were very lucky to beat Aston Villa, to be quite frank with you. But beat them they did, and here they are now. And I think they've improved well in the transfer window. They've bought well, and I think they'll do okay. And I think 11th would be a very good finish for them this season, considering they're newly promoted and all that. Burnley, I've gone for in 10th place. I think we're good enough. I think we haven't done well as I thought we would have done in the transfer window, but the 3 players that we signed are quality. I think Ben Gibson is a very good centre back and will challenge Tarkowski and me for the 2 centre back spots on offer. I think we've done well with Joe Hart. I think with Nick Pope's unfortunate injury, we needed a good keeper. I didn't honestly think we'd get Joe Hart. A lot of people. I just want to say something about Adrian Durham. Wants us to get relegated because we signed Joe Hart. Absolute rubbish. Joe Hart, I've seen him in action tonight in the Europa game. I thought he was superb. Whatever he was needed to do, he did well. I think people have missed the point about us, that we've got the best. I think we've got the best goalkeeping coach in the business, and I don't say that to be rose tinted. Billy Mercer is one of the best goalkeeping coaches around. He's turned Nick Pope and Tom Eaton from also runs when they first came to us, not going anywhere in their careers, and he's turned them into England goalkeepers. Now he's got an opportunity here to re-establish Joe Hart as an England goalkeeper to get back into the England squad. He's taken a massive pay cut. Hart, it's a gamble for him, but I think he's a good goalkeeper, and he left Manchester City with all the blessings. I think we've got a very good goalkeeper there. Some of the criticism that Joe Hart's had over the last couple of years has not helped his cause. And I think it needed a move to a club like ourselves to reinstill his confidence and get him back to where he was a few years ago. And I think he's got the right goalkeeper coach in Billy Mercer to do that. Matthias Ridder, another good signing, another solid signing. Can play the number 10 role, can play up front. He scored loads of goals for Derby last season. I think Frank Lampard, I think Naki Wells is going to be going the other way, I believe, on loan, I'm told. I think Frank Lampard has made a boo-boo selling us there, and we've got him for very little. I think we got him for £9 million. I think that's a decent piece of business. So I'm happy with the 3 players we've got in. I would have liked a couple more. Jay Rodriguez we were linked with all summer. We didn't get him. West Brom wanted silly money. We wanted James Ward-Prowse only today. We was Yannick Bolasie. Apparently we wanted loan deals. Southampton and Everton wanted to sell him, which I can understand. I don't know why our board did that, but I think when we get Brady and Defoe back, and we get 1 or 2 others back, like Wood and 1 or 2 others, I think we'll do very well. I mean, we've got the Europa League as well, and we're getting to that. And it's going to be, we'll struggle a little bit. I don't think we'll finish 7th, not for a long time. I think that's, there's too many better teams in terms of quality than us out there. But 10th place, I think, would be a fantastic finish for us. Anyway, around the 9th, 10th, 11th mark would be a successful season for Burnley in the Premier League. And it's all about just making sure that we're well away from that relegation zone. 40 points again will be the target. If we have a good run, I'd be happy with the Europa League until at least Christmas. If we can manage that, and if we can, we've got a small squad, but we've got quality there. That's, as long as we don't pick up too many suspensions and injuries, I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to back us to finish 10th this season. In 9th place, Wolverhampton Wanderers. They have got ambition, this club. Yes, I know they've got connections with a certain Portuguese agent that's managed to bring them Ruben Neves on a permanent basis, and Rui Patricio, the Portuguese goalkeeper, on a free. I think they've really strengthened. They bought Traore for a club record deal from Middlesbrough. I honestly think they're going to have a go this year. Honestly, I think Wolves will be the surprise package, a bit like Burnley last season. I think they will surprise a few people this year. I wouldn't be too surprised if they finished in the top 10. They're good enough. They're on paper, their squad is good enough. If they can adapt early on, it depends how they go on the first. They've got a first match that's going to be covered on the JB Clark YouTube channel on Saturday. They're at home. I think they will be up for it on Saturday. I think they'll fancy their chances against Everton. I think they'll be fantastically fabulously well, and I think they'll finish at least 8th or 9th. They'll certainly have a good go at challenging for Europe, but they are a good enough side, and I think there'll be more than enough quality in there, certainly to stay up. That is for sure. In 8th place, West Ham. They've actually done some really good business. They've got a very good, experienced manager that's won titles in Spain. He's won titles with Manchester City. He's managed at Real Madrid as well. So he knows the game inside out. I think Jack Wilshere on a free is an absolute steal. They've signed some really nice, really good talent there. Fabianski, good backup goalkeeper. They've got a good nucleus there, and they just need to gel them there. I think the acid test now is that this is going to be their 3rd year at the London Stadium. I think they have to get it right this year. I think that, if they can get that blend right, Pellegrini, I think, is the right man. He's had money to spend. Golden Sullivan and Brady have backed David Gold, David Sullivan and Karen Brady have backed Pellegrini a lot this summer, and the players he's brought in have been of real calibre. So I would not be too surprised if West Ham, I'll be amazed if they didn't finish in the top 10 this year. So I've gone for West Ham to finish 8th. In 7th, I've gone for Everton. Everton have done well again in the window. They've signed players. Marco Silva is a very, very good manager. Didn't get the chance to prove it at Watford. Everton were after him a bench last season. They ended up with Big Sam, who kept them up, but they weren't happy about the quality of the football. Well, they can't complain now, the Everton fans. They've got the manager they wanted. They've got Marco Silva installed at Goodison, and he spent a few quid with Richarlison. I'm not sure about 40 million for Richarlison. I know it's the going rate, but I'm a little bit I'm a little bit worried about that one, to be quite honest with you. I mean, he's good. They've signed Mina for 27.2. They've signed Gomez and Bernard. I think they've signed some quality though, Everton, and I think that'll be reflected in the way they'll in how they'll finish this season for absolutely sure. I honestly think that they're good enough to do things, and but they'll just miss out, I think, on top six, purely and simply because of the qualities of the top six. Right, here we go now. Now these are the two. Now we're going to go to the nitty gritty, the sharp end of the sharp end now. 6-1 to the top. The top six, from 6 up to 1, up to first. Okay, in 6th place, purely on the lack of transfer activity, I've gone for Tottenham Hotspur to finish 6th. The only reason I've gone for them is they haven't strengthened significantly. And my worry is, I mean, they've got a very good team. They've got Dele Alli, they've got Christian Eriksen, they've got Kieran Trippier, they've got all these quality players. But if a few of them get injured, then you fear for Tottenham and their chances of getting back into the Champions League for next season, for the season after. That's my big worry. They haven't strengthened significantly. They haven't strengthened at all. I know they've got the new stadium, and again, that will, it will all depend on whether they can adapt very quickly to this new White Hart Lane that they've got. It looks a nice ground from looking at it and photographs and that, but they need to hit the ground running at their new home. Arsenal took a while to get used to the Emirates Stadium when they first moved there some 12 years ago. So it's going to be tough for Spurs. So I'm going to, plus they haven't strengthened the core significantly enough in the window. In fact, they haven't brought anybody in at all. But Pochettino obviously has said in a press conference that he's not worried at all. But they also kick off on their season live on the JB Clark YouTube channel as they take on Newcastle on Saturday. In 5th place, we're going for Chelsea. Ciari is the new manager. Jorginho looks a really good talent. They bought another goalkeeper. They've lost Courtois. His head's been turned by Real Madrid. Who wouldn't want to move to Real Madrid? They bought another goalkeeper in from Sevilla, I think, for 71 million, which has broken the transfer record. They haven't solved the striker crisis. I'm not sure about Morata. Giroud is a very capable striker, but is he good enough to be the top striker? I think that's going to be the test for Sarri. He's got good backroom staff. He's got Zola, who's played for Chelsea before, so he knows how the club ticks. It's his first season as well, so he doesn't know the Premier League that well. He's got a good reputation with Napoli, 3 second-place finishes. And in the Community Shield last week, they looked off the pace. So they haven't had the great pre-season, and that's a big way for me. So Chelsea to finish 5th. Top 4 now, Champions League places. And in 4th place, I've gone for Manchester United. A lot of Manchester United fans, looking at its Facebook and Twitter and social media, I've not been impressed with the window. They haven't signed any good defenders. They were linked very heavily with Harry Maguire, but for one reason or another, Ed Woodward hasn't got the deals done for Mourinho. Mourinho's been moaning and groaning in every pre-season press conference you can imagine. He's got to get on with it, Mourinho. You're a manager of one of the biggest football clubs in the world. You think you'd be happy. But he's not, and United, the team will reflect the manager. I mean, they've got some really good players there. They've got Lingard, certainly up front. They've got Lingard. They've got Lukaku. They've got Sanchez. They've got Rashford. Will they keep? They're going to keep Martial as well. They've got a very good team there. The defence looks a little bit still suspect. David De Gea may have to hold it all together again this season. I don't think they're title-winning material yet. I think they needed to bring in somebody like Harry Maguire. They haven't done that for one reason or another. I think they'll do just enough to get into the top 4, but no more than that, I'm afraid. 3rd place might surprise a few people, this one, but I'm going to go for Arsenal. I think this is the season where they can really now shake off all this Arsene Wenger tag. They've got Emery, experienced coach, world-class coach. He's got rid of most of the deadwood there. He's completely overhauled the staff there at the Emirates, which needed it. Wenger's influence had been lingering around far too long, which might be the best thing that's ever happened to Arsenal. He's had money to spend. He's brought some really good players in as well. I think this could be a very good season for Arsenal. I really do. And I think if they can hit the ground running, get some good results, then there's no reason why they can't finish third. They've had a good pre-season. They've had an excellent pre-season. They've done well in the Champions Cup thingy-majig at the start of the season. They look a decent outfit, and I think if they can get Lacazette and Aubameyang or whatever he's called going up front, I think there's lots of goals in this side. If they can, I think you'll sort out the defence and the goalkeepers situation as well. I think this could be a really decent season for Arsenal, and I think they'll qualify for the top four with considerable ease, hopefully. Now the top two. On second place, I'm going for Liverpool. The reason why they're going to just fall short for me, Liverpool, is the fact that they've signed. Listen, the players they've got, fantastic, but they don't have the nous of winning a title yet. They're going to be up against a Man City team that are going to be real tough to beat. We'll talk about Man City in more detail later and why I think they'll win the Premier League. But Liverpool, I think, will go close because of the window that they've done, especially in the goalkeeping department, where we all saw in the Champions League final, Karius draw one of the biggest clangers in European Cup final history. He's been replaced. Alisson Becker's come in as the new goalkeeper, a top talent, Brazil #1, keeping anything out of the Brazilian team. He had a great year at Roma last year. I think it's a very, very good signing for Klopp. He's signed a few other top players as well. That's going to add to the squad. Also, I think Virgil van Dijk will have a really good season again. He's had a pre-season to do something really special. I think there's a lot to be optimistic about for Liverpool. They'll have a really good goal at winning their first league title since 1990, but I think they're just going to come up that little bit short in the final analysis. But I think they'll run Manchester City definitely close. And finally, last but not least, you know what I'm going to say now. The champions, I think they'll defend. Now, it's always difficult to retain the league title. It's not been done for some years, since 2008-9, I think. When Ferguson did it, I think Pep Guardiola is the man to do it this year. Manchester City are my pick to win the league. I went for United last year. I should have gone for Man City. I'm not making the same mistake this year. I think Pep Guardiola has got the nous. He's got the experience. He's only brought in two or three players. He's only spent 60 million quid, and that was to bring in Riyad Mahrez. I think that's a good signing. I think he'll do well for Manchester City, Riyad Mahrez. Watched him in the Community Shield last week. He was tremendous. He had a tremendous match and played really well. Actually unlucky not to get on the score sheet himself. Sergio Aguero played well in that match. They look up for it. Stones had a good game. Kyle Walker had a good game. They all had good games across the board, Manchester City. And I couldn't pick one weakness. I know they had Bravo in goal, but with Ederson in goal in the league campaign, I think they've got a really good goalkeeper there. Pep knows his team now. He doesn't need to strengthen too much. I think he's done it right. He's done it exactly right. He's got the nous. I honestly think that City might close it. I know the Premier League want to close the title race, but I can't see anybody else but Manchester City winning it. I think Liverpool will challenge hard, but Man City have just got too much nous and too much quality for me. and I think they'll be very, very worthy champions. I think at the end of the season, I'll be very amazed if they didn't win the league, just because the manager's tactically superb. There's no stone unturned. They got. I mean, they've a lot to live up to. They got 100 points last time out. I don't think they'll get 100 points this time around, but they'll have more than enough class and quality to win the Premier League quite comfortably this time around. So that is my predictions for the 2018-19 Premier League season, which you'll be able to hear the very best of the action live on the JB Correct YouTube channel with myself, Russ Vernon, and Chris Whiteman. Right, let me know what your Premier League tables are in the comments section below. Do you agree with my predictions? Do you disagree with my predictions? Is there certain teams that you would place in different positions? Let me know. Do you think Liverpool will pick Manchester City rather than City winning away again with the title? Let me know in the comments below. And please drop a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And join us tomorrow as the Premier League kicks off with live commentary on Manchester United against Leicester. Join me in the presenter's chair at around about 7:40, and your commentator for tomorrow will be Russ Vernon. But have a wonderful evening, and I wish whoever you support, I wish everybody all the best. Whoever you support, especially my club, this for this coming season, and let's enjoy the next 9 months of real proper drama. Good to be back. From me, JB, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Ta-ra.